Lord of the Rings and in turn Middle-earth are some of fantasy's greatest works of art. I didn't actually read any Tolkien bar Beowulf because I was an edgelord who wanted to be an adult when he was 15. I went on a mission to find all of the Lord of the Rings TTRPGs and went back in time before time existed to tell you about a special little game called MERP, Middle-earth Role-Playing. MERP was released in 1984. It was published by Iron Crown Enterprises, and if you know that name, you probably already know what MERP actually is. But humoring the rest of us, MERP is a very streamlined variant of Rolemaster. If that scares you at all, do not worry. MERP isn't actually all that complicated when you start getting into the game itself. At its absolute core, it's a 1d100 add modifier system. The higher your roll, the better you do, except when you roll a 95 or greater, then you trigger an open roll, allowing you to roll a d100 again. This can also go backwards, should you fail catastrophically at a roll, of course. But generally speaking, this is the chart you're going to be using for most things in life. The terms and the ideas may change, but try to beat 75 or beat your enemy is the name of the game. The best way to explain certain aspects of the game would be to create a very simple character. So here we have Gorthmog, an orc, because yeah, you can actually play orcs in this game. First, we're going to roll 6d100, 88, 56, 80, 78, 23, 32, each of these representing our core attributes. Strong in some, very weak in others. Luckily, we can shift these around if we want. Each of these have a bonus effect for a lot of different rolls, our 80 and 88 giving us a +5 to everything appropriate, while that 23 is a -5. From there, we pick our race. As an orc, we have +5 strength, -5 agility, +15 constitution, -10 intuition, -10 intelligence, and -10 presence, +22 poison resistant, +5 to disease to our established bonuses. Our orc isn't actually the greatest. We're pretty tough and we're strong. Better than an hobbit, that is. From there, we'll choose our skills in a kind of pseudo life path system. As an orc, we get some bonuses to various armors, concussion weapons, and body development. If we were an elf, we'd be better at archery and stalking someone outside their window, but have very little skill in armor. Then we'll pick our profession, which is a class, but not a class you might think. Each class gets some bonuses to certain skills and abilities. Could be as easy as getting a rank in a general skill or increasing our health a little bit to more exotic ones. There aren't many skills actually, with each rank and one granting a +5 to the roll. We'll be a warrior for simplicity's sake. Background bonuses allow us to pick up different hobby skills, such as languages, increase our stats a smidge, or pick up some special abilities, which usually let us do some pretty simple bonuses or a magic weapon. Or you can dosh max and gamble core to become a lotrillionaire, baby. Fill in some of the bonuses and done, actually. Go adventuring after picking up some gear and we'll probably emerge victorious or die violently. Going on adventures are a bit fraught with the danger though, which is where Rolemaster shines in violent, bloody combat, to get mauled by wargs or some other horrific situation. When a battle breaks out, swords are drawn and we'll usually only have one action to perform though. This could be us running into battle, swinging a weapon, or anything else that can be done pretty quickly based on our maneuver modifier. The game doesn't actually use a grid or anything like that, encouraging you to move around the map as you see fit. But a basic attack, a swing to decapitate that smug elf or the rampaging orc with a single heroic blow. You're gonna roll your weapon's attack and determine if it hits and how hard. Now, getting there is where things get a little wonky, so I have my actual bonus. Gorthmog has a +40 when he's using his mace. He can elect to strike with less than his bonus to save some for parrying later on or go all in. We'll go all in for our example. Our enemy is going to dedicate 20 of his attack to his parry, reducing his bonus for his turn to do what he wants. But we take a -20 to our attack though. Both are wearing soft leather, which would affect the roll as well, and no one is also making any exterior maneuvers, which also affects the roll. Gorthmog rolls 1d100 +20 and consults this chart. If he only scored a 50, he would do no damage due to the soft leather they're wearing. But if Gorthmog rolled a 90, he'd have dealt 8 damage and inflicted an A tier critical. Then we roll on the critical chart with a -20 and score a 16, a minor fracture to his ribs. MERP's combat can be deadly, but it doesn't necessarily come from just bashing one another over and over again. With the rapid exchange of blows and being taken unawares, meaning a really nasty critical hit could spell instant death for you if you're not paying attention. But characters have at least some hit points to kind of soak some damage. Gorthmog has 58 to work with due to having some points in his body development skill. But a few bad hits and Gorthmog is going to get Gorthmogged. But MERP, for all its vague confusion, is also pretty intuitive. It just tries to get you really involved in what's going on. There are also spells. They use magic. Don't think about it too hard. They do exist and I don't care to explain them all that much. But if you're chomping at the bit and wondering what to do, Against the Darkmaster is effectively modern MERP. Personally, I haven't gone over it, but it is an interesting thing to check out if you need that fix. But I also want to spend a minute talking about the follow-up product to MERP, Lord of the Rings adventure game. Not the board game of the same name. This was released in 1991 to kind of serve as the gateway drug for people getting into any kind of TTRPG. Using the same ideas, it's even more streamlined and replaced with a 2d6 system. Yeah, it's actually a really simplified 2d6 plus mod system that has you pick one of 9 characters to slightly modify and play. Almost everything you need is on the little character card you get, and you'll rarely ever need to worry too hard about developing out the character itself. They even made casting spells a little bit better due to having to burn one of your +1s. Some of the same ideas still apply with your rather limited health pools and concepts. If I make a swing with my elf sword and +2 versus their defense of +3, I probably were only going to be doing about 1 to 4 damage on average, but almost every character has the chance to KO someone right off the bat with a lucky hit or outright kill them if they're competent enough. Building up some experience points by making riskier actions, and ta-da, you're adventuring! Kinda want to rewind some of the math to make an easier game of the same vein, but that's more of a personal thought experiment. Oh, and in case you're wondering, yes, there are rules for transferring your Lotro adventure game character into MERP, continue your adventure in a more complex method. Both of these games have charm to them, a healthy and fun one if you love the source material even more. MERP does show its age for the modern zoomer, but if you can get past some of the more 10s and 20s, you're in for a treat. Adventure game is pretty simple, with most of the book being the rather large adventure. However, it does actually serve as a really good introduction for people learning to play TTRPGs, as well as game masters learning how to, due to the very clear way they describe things like action scenes and various situations. Both are very nice to look at, and I really encourage you to. My name is Notepad, and this was Iron Crown Enterprises Middle-earth Role-Playing and Lord of the Rings adventure game. If you like what I do here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Many thanks to Herodic Banking Guild for their continued funding of our expeditions. Armor up, lads, we're going adventuring.